Hello, glider pilots. We are talking about the third and final secret to solo today, part of our three-part series on secrets to solo. So today we are going to be discussing the secret heads-up display that you have in your glider and how to use it. Okay? A HUD, or heads-up display, is something that really started in military jets. And what it is, it's a little window directly in front of the pilot, okay, where they project the most important information. And we're talking about airspeed and altitude and maybe heading as well. So that what it does is it allows a military fighter jet pilot to always be looking upward and outside the cockpit rather than down looking at their instruments. You can see there's a lot of instruments down low. As pilots, we don't want to be looking down low, particularly during landing. We want to be looking up high where all the information is outside of the cockpit, okay, both for other traffic as well as our position and whatnot. So that we want to keep our attention outside the glider where it belongs. And a glider pilot, I call it the secret HUD, the secret heads-up display. The angle that the nose of the glider makes to the horizon controls your airspeed, okay? We don't have an engine in a glider. So how do we go faster? We point the nose further down. If we want to go slower, we have to bring the nose up, okay? Well, if you have the same angle, you're going to have the same airspeed each time. And this works in both straight and level flight as well as in turns. This is particularly important during landing when we are trying to control our airspeed all the way down to the ground. And we also need to be looking outside the glider so that way we get all the information about traffic, any conflicts on the runway itself, looking outside to check our air brakes and whatnot, okay? So, depending on how tall you are and which kind of glider you are, this angle will be different in your glider. But for you, each time, it will be the same in the same type of glider. And so you want to learn what that angle looks like for you, okay? My primary glider when I'm doing training at the Glider Club, at the Tucson Soaring Club, is the Grobe 103, very common training glider. And I know for a fact that when I have an angle out to the ground, I know what it looks like for 50 knots, 55 knots, 60 knots, 65 knots, and 70 knots. And I know exactly what the nose is going to look like for each of those air speeds. And so how do we use this now? Well, when we are doing our before landing checklist, USTOL. S is speed, airspeed, okay? So what you do is you set you say out what your airspeed, your target airspeed is. Usually for me it's 55. I set my nose where I want it to be, and then once I've set that angle to the ground, I keep that angle the entire way during my landing pattern, and then I don't have to look down at my airspeed indicator again to determine what my airspeed is going to be. So this angle, here's the horizon here, as you can see in this picture, and that angle to the to the nose of the glider will determine your airspeed. Use this, and then you don't have to be looking down. You could be looking outside the glider where all the important things are happening during landing. Okay, that is the third and final secret to solo. Try it the next time you're flying. Try it when you're just in free flight. Point the nose at different angles and see what the airspeed is. Lock that into your brain and then use it when you're landing to be able to control your airspeed without having to constantly be looking down at your instruments. We want to keep our eyes outside the glider where everything is. Okay, thank you everyone. Leave a like and subscribe. And if you have any other comments that have helped you to solo, or have you seen be effective, leave them in a comment or question down below, and we will be able to all learn from each other and improve as glider pilots.